One of these cars is cheaper to buy, but costs you more in the long run. The other one starts higher, but gives you more from day one. And no, it's not the one most people think. This is the 2026 Mercedes GLC versus the 2026 Audi Q5. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which one to buy and which one to avoid. These two cars go head-to-head every single year. Both German, both luxury, both around the same price. But they are built on completely different philosophies, and that difference matters a lot more than most car reviewers tell you. So I'm going to break this down category by category: price, engine and performance, fuel economy, interior and tech, cargo and practicality, safety features, and long-term value. No fluff, no filler, just what you actually need to know before you walk into a dealership. Let's start with money, because that's where every smart decision begins. The 2026 Mercedes GLC 300 starts at $50,900. The 2026 Audi Q5 starts at $54,095. On the surface, the GLC looks like the better deal. It's cheaper right out of the gate. But here's the thing. That lower price on the GLC comes with a catch, and it's a big one. The base GLC 300 comes with rear-wheel drive only. That means if you live somewhere that gets winter weather, or if you just want the extra grip and stability of all-wheel drive, you have to pay more. The GLC's 4MATIC all-wheel drive system costs extra on the base model. Mercedes made this choice because it allows them to advertise a lower starting price. It looks more competitive on paper. But real buyers, almost all of them, end up adding 4MATIC. Once you do that, you're looking at a price that's much closer to, or even above, what the Q5 starts at.
Now, the Q5 comes with Quattro all-wheel drive standard on every single trim. You don't choose it, you don't pay extra for it, it's just there. Audi decided that if someone is spending $54,000 on a compact luxury SUV, they deserve AWD from day one. That's a completely different value decision, and it makes the Q5's pricing a lot more honest when you compare it head-to-head at the same spec level. At the top end, the GLC can climb well above $70,000 with AMG trims and optional packages. The Q5 Prestige tops out at around $62,700. So if you're keeping costs controlled, the Q5's range is tighter and more predictable.
One more thing on price that almost nobody talks about. Audi includes 3 years or 30,000 miles of free scheduled maintenance with every 2026 Q5 under their Audi Signature Care program. Mercedes-Benz gives you nothing like this on the GLC. Zero. That free maintenance on the Q5 can easily save you $1,500 to $2,000 over 3 years. So when someone tells you the GLC is cheaper, you have to factor that in. Winner: Audi Q5. When you compare honest, equally equipped versions. Both cars use a 2.0-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, but the way they go about it is different, and those differences show up every time you press the gas pedal. The 2026 Audi Q5 produces 268 horsepower. It uses a 48-volt mild hybrid system paired with a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission. That dual-clutch gearbox is key. Dual-clutch transmissions are designed for faster, sharper gear changes compared to traditional automatics. The result is that when you press the gas in the Q5, the car responds quickly and with intent. It feels more like it wants to move. Audi chose this transmission specifically to give the Q5 a more athletic feel. They know their buyers often care about the driving experience. The 2026 Mercedes GLC 300 produces 255 horsepower, but it also uses a 48-volt mild hybrid system called the Integrated Starter Generator. This clever system can add up to 23 extra horsepower and 148 pound-feet of additional torque electrically when needed. So on paper, the GLC is less powerful, but in real-world driving, especially during city acceleration or highway merging, That electric torque boost makes the GLC feel surprisingly punchy off the line. Mercedes paired this with a 9-speed traditional automatic transmission. 9 gears means smaller steps between each shift, which makes the whole experience feel smoother and more refined. This is a deliberate choice by Mercedes. They want the GLC to feel calm and composed, not sporty.
In testing, the GLC 300 4MATIC hit 60 miles per hour in about 6.1 seconds. The Q5 performs in a similar range. Neither one is fast by sports car standards, but both are more than strong enough for everyday driving. Here's the real split. The Q5 feels more engaging. The GLC feels more relaxed. If you enjoy driving and want the car to respond when you ask it to, the Q5 is your pick. If you want a car that feels effortless and smooth at all times, the GLC delivers that better. Winner? Tie. Depends on what you want. Q5 for drivers, GLC for comfort seekers. This one is less close than people expect. The 2026 Audi Q5 gets an estimated 27 miles per gallon combined. That's with AWD standard on every model. The EPA rates it at 25 city and 31 highway. The 2026 Mercedes GLC 300 4MATIC gets an EPA estimated 26 miles per gallon combined, 24 city and 32 highway. In Edmunds real-world testing, they got 27.9 miles per gallon on their standardized route, which is genuinely impressive for this class. So the GLC is slightly more efficient in real-world use, despite the fact that it's a heavier vehicle. Why? That 48-volt mild hybrid system in the GLC is doing a lot of the work here. The integrated starter generator is constantly helping the engine by taking over tasks like the water pump and other accessories, reducing the load on the gas engine. On top of that, the 9-speed transmission keeps the engine in a more efficient range more often compared to the Q5's 7-speed setup. The difference is small. We're talking about 1 to 2 mpg, but over 5 years and 75,000 miles, that adds up to real money at the pump. If you step up to the GLC 350e plug-in hybrid, the story changes completely. That version offers an EPA-estimated 54 miles of electric-only range, which is the best in this entire segment. No compact luxury SUV from BMW, Audi, or Volvo comes close to that number. If you can charge at home, you could drive to work and back every single day without using a drop of gas. The plug-in GLC 350e starts at $60,300 and makes an extremely strong case for itself if efficiency matters to you. Winner: Mercedes GLC, especially if you opt for the plug-in hybrid. This is where things get really interesting, because both cars took completely different bets on how a luxury interior should look and feel in 2026. The 2026 Audi Q5 went through a full interior redesign for this generation. They call it the digital stage. You get an 11.9-inch virtual cockpit display for the driver, combined with a 14.5-inch MMI touch display in the center. These two screens merge into one wide visual unit and look seriously impressive. For 2026 specifically, Audi updated the infotainment software design. Fewer menus, more visual icons, and a cleaner overall interface. They also brought back physical scroll wheels on the steering wheel. This matters because Audi had replaced those wheels with touchpads a generation ago, and owners hated it. The scrolling was imprecise, you had to look down, people were annoyed. Audi listened and put the proper scroll wheels back. That's a smart move. On higher trims, you can add a front passenger display, a second screen just for the front passenger, which supports Bluetooth headphones, gaming controllers, and video streaming, independently from what the driver is doing. Audi also offers a new optional 4K dashcam that integrates directly into the rearview mirror. For audio, the base system has 10 speakers, and you can upgrade to Bang & Olufsen's 16-speaker system, which is genuinely excellent. One complaint: Audi removed physical climate control buttons. You now control the temperature through the touchscreen. This is a frustrating choice because it means you have to look at a screen and navigate a menu just to change the temperature while you're driving. That's a safety concern, and it's something to know before you buy. Now the Mercedes GLC. The interior here is a genuinely beautiful place to sit. Mercedes uses their third-generation MBUX system, which centers around an 11.9-inch portrait touchscreen that looks like a tablet mounted in the center of the dash. The interface is clean and icon-based, similar to a smartphone, and it responds quickly. Voice control is one of the best in the business. You say, "Hey Mercedes," and it can understand very natural requests. The overall cabin feel in the GLC is warmer and more traditional luxury compared to the Q5's more tech-forward approach. However, and this is a real issue, the base GLC 300 does not come with real leather upholstery as standard. You get MB Tex, which is Mercedes' synthetic leatherette material. To get actual leather, you need to add the exclusive package, which also brings the Burmeister 3D 15-speaker audio system. The Q5 comes with leather seating surfaces standard from the base trim. For a car starting at over $50,000, expecting leather seats and getting pleather is a genuine letdown. Also, navigation from Mercedes is a paid subscription. It doesn't come built into the car forever. It's an ongoing cost. Audi's navigation is included. Winner? Audi Q5, for giving you more as standard. But the GLC's interior ambiance is genuinely special. Both cars seat 5 people. Let's talk about space. The 2026 Audi Q5 gives you 27.6 cubic feet of cargo space behind the rear seats. Fold those seats down and you get 56.9 cubic feet. Those are strong numbers for this class. The Q5 also offers an available air suspension that can lower the rear of the car to make loading easier. A divide and hide cargo system lets you split the trunk into sections for organization. Rear seat legroom in the Q5 is 38 inches, which is respectable. The wheelbase is 111 inches, giving passengers enough space to stretch out on longer trips. The 2026 Mercedes GLC has 21.9 cubic feet of cargo space behind the rear seats and 56.3 cubic feet with the seats folded. So the GLC actually has less cargo space behind the seats than the Q5, about 5.5 cubic feet less. That might sound like a small number, but that's roughly the size of a carry-on suitcase. If you're the type of person who regularly puts strollers, sports gear, or travel bags in the back, the Q5 gives you meaningfully more usable space. Where the GLC wins back some points is in rear passenger headroom and legroom, which matches or beats several competitors in this class. The GLC's cabin feels wide. It measures 81.7 inches wide, including mirrors, versus 74.8 for the Q5, and passengers in the back seat generally feel less cramped from side to side. The GLC does offer a coupe version called the GLC Coupe, which has a sloping roofline for style. That body style reduces cargo space even further and lowers rear headroom. If you care about practicality, the regular GLC SUV version is the smarter choice. The coupe is purely a style decision with practical trade-offs. Winner, Audi Q5 for cargo space, GLC for passenger width and shoulder room. Both cars perform well here, and safety tech is increasingly similar across the segment. But there are important differences in what you get standard versus what costs extra. The 2026 Audi Q5 comes standard across every trim with automatic emergency braking, blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic alert, lane departure warning, front and rear parking sensors, and drowsy driver detection. Adaptive cruise control and lane centering assist are available as upgrades on higher trims. The IIHS gave the Q5 a 2025 Top Safety Pick Plus award, and NHTSA awarded the 2025 model a 5-star overall safety rating. For 2026, Audi also expanded the driver assistance options further, including better parking assist features and improved camera systems. The 2026 Mercedes GLC comes with a strong standard suite as well, including automatic emergency braking, lane keeping assist, blind spot assist, and rear cross traffic alert.
One unique feature on the GLC is the center airbag, positioned between the two front seats, which deploys in a side impact crash to prevent the driver and front passenger from colliding with each other. This is a genuine engineering innovation that you don't find on the Q5. Mercedes also offers their pre-safe system, which detects that a crash is about to happen before it occurs. It can tighten seatbelts, close windows, and adjust seat positioning in the split second before impact to reduce injury. This level of pre-crash preparation is genuinely impressive technology. However, the GLC's navigation, which ties into safety assistance by providing road speed data for adaptive cruise control, is a paid subscription feature. If you don't pay, some of the more advanced driver assistance features lose accuracy. Winner, tie, with the GLC having a slight edge for its unique safety innovations like the center airbag and pre-safe system. This is the category that most people ignore when they're excited about a new car, and it's the one that matters most 5 years down the road. On resale value, the GLC holds its value slightly better than the Q5. According to data, the GLC loses around 51.4% of its value after 5 years, while the Q5 loses around 55.7%. That's a real difference. It means a GLC will be worth more if you sell or trade it in. Mercedes-Benz has strong brand desirability in the used car market, which supports its resale prices. On reliability, this is more nuanced. Mercedes-Benz has historically ranked below average for reliability in surveys like Consumer Reports and J.D. Power. Complex electronics, expensive maintenance, and technology-heavy systems contribute to higher ownership costs over time. The 48-volt mild hybrid system and third-generation MBUX add complexity, and complexity in cars eventually means repair costs. Audi's reliability has also been a mixed record historically, but the Q5 specifically has had a better ownership record than the GLC in owner satisfaction surveys. And that included free scheduled maintenance for 3 years, means your cost of ownership in the early years is genuinely lower. KBB estimates a 5-year total cost of ownership for the GLC 300 at over $81,000 when you factor in depreciation, fuel, insurance, maintenance, and financing. The Q5 is competitive with that number, but the free maintenance gives it a measurable advantage in the first 3 years. If you're the type of person who buys new and keeps a car for 8 to 10 years, the long-term repair costs on either German luxury car can be significant. But in the first 5 years, which is when most buyers trade in, both cars have proven to be reasonably dependable. Winner? Mercedes GLC on resale value. Audi Q5 on early ownership costs. Here's the honest breakdown. The 2026 Audi Q5 is the better all-around car for most buyers. It gives you standard Quattro all-wheel drive on every trim, it includes leather upholstery from the base, it comes with 3 years of free maintenance, it gives you more cargo space. The new 14.5-inch infotainment screen is impressive and updated for 2026 with a cleaner interface. The 268 horsepower engine with a dual-clutch transmission gives it a more engaging drive. And the IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus award confirms it's one of the safest cars in its class. Starting at $54,095, you're getting a complete car without needing to tick option boxes just to get what should be standard. The 2026 Mercedes GLC is the better car if you value atmosphere and comfort over practicality and value. The interior of the GLC is genuinely one of the most beautiful cabins in this price range. The ride quality is smooth, calm, and effortless. The third-generation MBUX system is intuitive and easy to learn. The GLC 350e plug-in hybrid is a truly exceptional option if you drive mostly in the city and can charge at home. 54 miles of electric range in a luxury SUV is outstanding. The GLC also holds its value slightly better on the used market. And small but real innovations like the center airbag and pre-safe crash prevention show that Mercedes is still thinking carefully about safety engineering. But if you're buying the base GLC 300 and adding 4MATIC,
suddenly the price gap closes or disappears. You're paying close to what the Q5 costs, but you're getting less standard leather, no free maintenance, and paying extra for navigation. That's a harder deal to justify when you look at it clearly. So here's the simple answer. If you're buying with your head, buy the Q5. If you're buying with your heart, you'll probably end up in the GLC. And honestly, you won't regret it either. If this helped you, hit subscribe. We do this every week.